have not done an art video in a second, so we're back to our roots, and today we're talking about drawing tablets. That's right, not only is this the most taboo, talked about, and titillating subject in all of digital art, but it is actually, it's important to talk about, because what's more important to an artist than their tools? And I thought, hey, you know what would be cool? To make a video about non-screen-based tablets. That's right, the most unpopular product made for digital art. Well, okay, maybe I won't say that exactly, but definitely not a product that most people think of when they think of digital art tools these days. Why? Probably because screen tablets are all the rage. But before we had any of that, we had pen tablets, or digitizers, whatever you'd like to call them. And now you may be asking yourself, why would literally anyone use a screenless tablet as opposed to a screen tablet for drawing? And let me tell you, a lot of professional artists do. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are in the industry who you probably follow right now on Instagram, whether that be in animation, in game design, in concept work, who work off of screenless or pen tablets because that's what they grew up on, that's what the industry started with, or because they just like it better. So today we're going to be comparing 3 tiers of pen tablets. That's right, the tiers are going from physically small and literally cheap to the physically largest screenless tablet currently on sale on the market, and everything in between. And by everything, I just mean like one other thing. The Wacom Intuos Wired Small is a really little guy, about the size of my palm. It has an active area of 6 by 3.7 inches, 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity, 4 programmable shortcut keys, and tilt support. Right out of the box, you get 3 things. You get your actual pen for digital art. You get the tablet itself, which again, very small. It's literally about the size of my hand. And you get the cable to connect it from your computer to the actual tablet. The pen itself is actually quite nice. It's it's a lot heavier than any drawing pen I've used before, which is crazy because it's smaller, like so much smaller. So right here on my desk, I also have my Huion tablet pen, as you can see there. Wowzers. And so this is the size comparison between these two. So when I say it is small, I mean it is a lot smaller, like all the dimensions. I know a lot of people really like that sometimes Wacom pens can come with an eraser on the back. This one does not. You don't have anything on the back here. You just have 2, if it focuses, 2 programmable buttons. And that's it. The tip's pretty nice. It's wiggly. It's to me, it's very similar to the pens that you get in Huion displays. So I have a Huion Canvas 13 screen display, just outside of frame. But I would say that the weight of them is similar, but this one's just a little bit heavier, especially towards the tip, and that's actually quite nice. Then you have the tablet itself. Like I said, very small. You got these 4 little feet on the back, very fun. And this like tab, I guess you could put the pen through here. I haven't, because the buttons create a sort of well where you can just put the pen in and boom. If you can see my handprints on this thing, it is very handprinty. If you've ever had a screen tablet or any sort of surface to draw on, you'll know they're fingerprint magnets. But by far, this has been my favorite drawing texture experience. If you just want to listen, you can hear the resistance on there. It is really, really nice. Yeah, it is a really nice texture. It's actually my favorite textured surface I've ever drawn on digitally. So kudos to Wacom for that. Like, really knocked it out of the park. I have done a couple drawings on this so far, mostly sketches. The 4 programmable buttons and the 2 buttons on here, as compared to my Huion tablet, which has 8 programmable buttons, is really rough. I will say it is definitely a learning curve, especially because when you're drawing
on this surface, you have to reach over your own self and you know, click your buttons, which is not fun. The placement of the hotkey is just, the shortcut keys is not ideal. And additionally, there are just so few of them. It becomes really prime real estate to decide, you know, what shortcuts you absolutely have to have right on hand and which ones you're okay with entering on your keyboard or laptop. Which I use a laptop, so it's fine, but it did take a second to get used to, as opposed to multiple programmable keys. After the drawing experience I've had with this tablet, give it a solid 7 out of 10. I love the screen texture. I really like the weight of this pen and the way that it draws. Even though it's smaller than the pen I'm normally used to drawing with, it never felt like I was struggling to draw or that I didn't have a good enough grip. And finally, I would say the reason I give this a 7 out of 10 is because it's small. And I know that sounds funny to say, right? Because coming into this, I said I bought the small model, so obviously I must have known I was getting the small one. But I didn't really imagine it would be quite as small as it is. And I say that because while this is probably great for, you know, a lot of digital editing, you know, let's say in After Effects, in Premiere, if you're into using a screen tablet for Premiere, in Blender maybe even, if you're drawing is a lot about movement in your shoulder and upper arm, and you don't really want to focus all your movement in just your wrist. And this pen tablet, in the configuration that it's in, really does force you to have to use your wrist, and I think that's really unfortunate, because it's not great for the longevity of your health, like drawing wise. It's a quick way to get, you know, carpal tunnel and such. But for what it is and the competitors in its market, which are other small wired tablets, I think this is great. So, I mean, it's not for me. It doesn't fit my purposes, but I really, really enjoyed using it. This tablet has a 10-inch by 6-inch active drawing area with 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, as well as tilt support. With 8 programmable shortcut keys and a scroll wheel, this Parblo Intangbo will run you around $60 to $70. I bought mine on sale, so it was around $65 on Amazon. The tip goes in, let me see this. The tip goes in a little bit, but it's not bouncy, it just goes in. See that, it's a little bit wiggly. You got 2, let's see this, focus buddy. Come on, there you go. You have 2 express keys here, which I assume are both programmable. And here is the surface itself. Not the most resistant. There's definitely a little bit of resistance on there. It's not bad, and it is not scratching the surface. I'll just shut up so you can hear it. Okay. It's not the most grippy. Like, definitely I would say the Wacom Intuos is more grippy than this pen tablet, but it allows you to glide really easily, and I don't mind it too bad. I will say there is some squeaking. As you can tell there, when I moved faster, it did squeak. I believe this at the top is supposed to be like a pen rest for the thing, but let's jump right into setup.
Alright, well, after drawing on this for a hot second, I have to say it's not my favorite experience, and it's really not the fault of the actual tablet screen or the pen itself. I think it's actually the tech inside that Parblo put in into its driver as well as into the tablet. It has this weird streaky, not streakiness, but it has a weird pickup where you'll draw a line, let's say diagonally down, and it'll put like a little check mark at the bottom, almost like a little upward swoop, as if when you pull your hand off, right, it almost like it follows, even if you've lifted the pen off of the screen. And I think that might have something to do just with the fact that the hover function on this is not great. So on a couple of the other tablets that I tested, if you set the pen over the tablet, you could sort of see where your cursor was, right? But if you see where my hand is now, the hover function here isn't too good. Yeah, we have a lot of lag in our hover function. Additionally, with that swooping, the pressure sensitivity is also really odd. So you can customize it inside of the pen settings. On here, you can change the pressure curve, and I played with it both at its highest setting and at its lowest setting. No matter what I had it set at, the pressure was just odd, and I tend to draw more lightly, and this is a very, very light pen already, so it really wasn't registering any of the marks I was making, which wasn't fun. It's not that fun to do, right?
This was by far the worst software experience I've ever had with a drawing tablet. While the installation and initial setup process were fine, when it came to actually drawing, the software could just not hold up. It had line jitter, check marking, lag, and minimal to no hover support for its pen, meaning the drawing experience wasn't fun or easy, and it was actually quite frustrating. I ended up putting this tablet down immediately after the review period. Because of the absolutely abysmal performance of the drawing software Parblo put into their tablet, I can't recommend this tablet to any of you. In the future, if they're able to work out the kinks and really make it flawless, for the drawing experience, I would be willing to come back and test it again, but the way that it stands now, this tablet just isn't gonna do it for me. This tablet's just not going to give you a drawing experience you can rely on. So for that, I have to give this a 4 out of 10. With 12 programmable shortcut keys, 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, and the ability to wirelessly connect to your computer, the Huion WH1409 V2, Christ, that's a mouthful, seems like the best of the best pen displays money can buy. Unfortunately, it doesn't live up to those expectations.
This is very big. Wowzers, it's big. Oh my god, okay. The buttons are nice and clicky. They're not quite as clicky as those on my other tablet. They're definitely not bad. So these are indicator lights, which flash on with battery and Wi-Fi connectivity and pen battery level, but hopefully we won't need any of those because we're gonna always have it wired in. Just initial surface impression. It's really slick. This is my old pen tablet. It's not bad by any means, but it is very similar to the screen finish on my Canvas 13. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to test it out. We are going to have to test it out. I just pulled out the pen and the accessories. So that included the USB, and I don't know why I'm filming in portrait, and the I believe the cable to charge the pen. So this one has a pen you do have to charge immediately. I'm not really into that, but we're gonna try it out. But this is a weird thing. I just brought this over to come draw on this, and look at that. Do you see how it's bending as I press on it? At first I thought maybe that's a screen, like a screen protector they have on, but as I mess with the edges of this thing, I'm pulling at it, and I'm like, oh no, I think that's just a screen, which is really worrisome. Cause what is that? Why is it bouncy? What the heck? This retails for $70 with a $10 coupon from Amazon. So this, as you can see here in the light, should not be happening. The difference between this and the Canvas are huge. I really thought that I would like this just because I like the Canvas so much, but there are a lot of, I would say, deal breakers on this tablet. One of those is definitely the pen. So this is the pen from my Canvas, right? It has this nice textured grip.
It's got 2 buttons that you can program, and it's batteryless, so you don't have to charge it. It just comes raring to go whenever you need it. This is the pen that comes with this big tablet. So this pen does require itself to be charged, as you can see from the hole in the bottom, but it's also a lot thinner. It's got no nice rubber grip the way that my canvas pen does. It does have the 2 programmable keys. If you can see here, this pen tip is actually also bouncy. Like, it has like if I push it down, it like kind of bounces back. Whereas on my canvas brush pen, there's nothing. It doesn't move at all. No bouncing. So that was really unfortunate coming in to draw on this, just the bounciness. Now, my big problem with this is that while the surface area is incredible at 13.8 inches, the actual experience of writing on it, while it's like fine, the texture's like not that great. I don't like that it's so slick, as you can hear there. It has none of the texture that the small Wacom did, which I really, really liked. It just, the build quality of this, it creaks. Like, I don't want to press too hard, and I'm really not pressing that hard, but it creaks. And for $70, while I know that this is technically a more budget-friendly company and a more budget-friendly pen tablet, I just think it's unacceptable. This is affordable, but $70 is not cheap. And for this build quality at $70, I just would not recommend this. I have to give this tablet a 3 out of 10. The price and the build quality combined made the product less than desirable for me, and not one I'd recommend unless build quality isn't a big issue for you.
So, you want my final thoughts? Well, despite ending up at the end getting a, screen tablet again, I wanted to say that part of the really cool experience of making this video was getting to test out so much drawing tech, and there is sort of this incredible opportunity we've come to in 2024 where we do have a lot of Wacom alternatives that are out here putting out incredible products. Now, I know that I didn't cover all of the companies currently making pen tablets and display drivers, and that's because I didn't have enough money to, but also because some of them I just left on the table. So to the XP pens, the Gaumons, and the UGs of the world, I'm sorry you didn't make the cut. Maybe next time you can impress. But for the pen tablets that I did review in this video, my only recommendation really is that you have to try them for yourself. I can make whatever video I want, and you can hear all about my preferences, and you did. And I didn't really like any of them. For one reason or another, none of the pen tablets impressed me more or encouraged me to switch over to a screenless tablet as opposed to the screen tablet I had previously, which was my Huion Canvas 13. Now, if you really hold a Nerf gun to my head and ask me which tablet would I recommend, I would probably end up saying the Wacom Intuos. While it's really small and it's not great for long-term drawing health or healthy drawing habits, I do think it is an incredible tool that has both the hardware internally to support, a good build quality and a really nice drawing service, but it also has the digital hardware and drivers to pick up everything you're putting down, and you won't, get left in the dust with hover capabilities or check marking or anything like that. So if you're gonna buy one of them, I would say probably go, for me personally, from my point of view, for the Intuos line. But if you don't care too much about build quality and you don't mind some creaking or some bouncy texture, then for sure head over to Huion. Their older models are really affordable right now on Amazon. Definitely a little bit of an investment at $75-ish, but hey, they're right over there, and their driver works great. I didn't have any problems from a tech perspective on that end. It was just build quality, which is why I don't recommend it, but if you don't mind it, go ahead, bro. Like, it's right there and it'll be good enough for anything you need. As for Parblo, I am happy to see more competitive brands joining in on the great tablet race, but at this point in time where their tech is at, and with the really squeaky surface of their drawing tablet, the hardware is just not where it should be, especially for $70. I think there are a lot more competitive pen tablets, better pen tablets on the market, and if you just like the pretty colors, my guy, sometimes you gotta give up aesthetic for vibes, and by vibes I mean good vibes while doing your work. So while I think those tablets are mighty fine, just the internal hardware is just an immediate non-recommendation for me. The check marking, the wobbling, the lack of pen hover capability. It's just, maybe in a couple years they'll really figure it out, but for where it is right now, can't say that I recommend. Alrighty lads, that brings us to the end of the video. Wow, were you excited for the ending? I hope you weren't. If you want more though, don't worry. I'm back with another video just this week because I'm on an apology tour. Sorry, I forgot to upload. Anyway, as we draw to a close, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this week's video. Subscribe if you want to. That would be pretty cool. I will see you very soon, you guys, with another video on something equally as cool and fun and fresh and hip. Have a good time drawing. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay? That's in order. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Wowzers. Real great experience. Not super interesting. So let's actually get into